and this video is going to be about home is where the heart is. Um, I've traveled many places in the world, and I love going to see other countries. I love the culture and experiencing that place where everybody's different than you, and you go there and you see like just a unique culture. Like when I was in Asia, I just loved it. I thought it was amazing to see very different culture and how it was expressed, and the buildings, the architecture, the way of life, the way people, the customs of the people. I thought it was amazing. Um, and I traveled a lot. I've gone to all over Europe. I've gone to uh, all parts of Asia, and I enjoyed that experience. But after, when you're traveling, I was in Asia for 3 years. You kind of miss home. You miss, coming home and being with people that have the same kind of experiences as you and having that same culture as you. And that experience of knowing those same sort of inside jokes that you grew up with, and you sort of that culture, that experience, that culture of your home. And it's always great to be home after having traveled, and you feel like, wow, it's great to be home. However, lately, that feeling that I had when I traveled, I have that almost on a daily basis now, even though I am in my own home. I was just at there's a big election happening now in Canada, and uh, I went to go vote. I went to vote early because to me, I take voting, I take the elections very seriously. I'm very political kind of guy, and I went to the voting station, and I was the only white person there. Now the town that I'm in is, well, okay, 4 years ago, it was 99.99% white. It was just like a whitey white area, all, very traditional town, very prestigious town, actually, very nice place to live. But within the last 4 years, there's been a dramatic shift in the population here. And so when I went to the voting station in my small community, there was not one white person there except for myself. And that it's kind of shocking. And it's the way that I have nothing against immigrants. It's not about immigrants. It's about that feeling that I'm now in a different culture than the one that and I have no home that I can go to. It's not like, the people that come here, they can always say, hey, I remember back home. I can, can think nostalgically about their homeland, and they can go visit if they ever want. But here has become no longer the place that I recognize as my homeland. There's nobody that has that shared culture. Even language is a bit of an issue, where people, their English is not 100%, so you can never speak as fluently as you would like to, because you always have to talk in a level of English which people can understand. So you can't even speak freely. It's like it's always that kind of feeling that you can't really speak the way you would want to. You can't really talk about the same things that you'd normally like to talk about, like old jokes or old cultural things that we'd experience, and you can't talk about that. So you don't have there's no home. So home is really where the heart is, in the respect that we crave things that we know, that we can relate to. And within such a short time, the culture of my homeland has become a mishmash of like a whole bunch of other cultures, where nobody kind of relates to each other. Nobody can sort of connect with each other. And everyone speaks different languages. Some speak English, it's sort of, English is sort of everybody's second language. And it's kind of strange. So I have these feelings of like, I'm missing home, but I'm at home. It's the weirdest thing. And I think it's very sad the way the world has gone, that we're pushing this whole diversity and cultural shift towards a global one world order kind of thing. I think it's a mistake. I really do appreciate culture. I actually do love the cultures of the world. And I would hate to see the same thing that's happening to Canada happen to other countries. Because I love the experience of going to those cultures and really seeing what they're like and realizing they're very different from my culture. And I love that. Um, and it's sad to see it being lost in my own country where we're losing our culture. We're losing our identity. And we did have an identity. To those people that say that Canadians didn't have an identity, well, it's just not true. We had an identity like any other culture did. And I think this globalist kind of agenda is really destructive. And I hope that people will understand this video and see the importance of it. It's really important that we maintain our countries, that we maintain who we are. We can't let our countries just become a mishmash of like identities and then everybody has to sort of pretend that they're like, getting along even when they don't get along. It's not the way we should be. We have to protect our culture. It's okay that we work together as nations, but we have to maintain the concept of a nation. What is a nation? It's the people that make that nation. It's the culture of those people that make the nation. And if we don't maintain that, what's the point? We might as well, give up. Because what makes us who we are is the culture that we're brought up in. It's part of us. It's part of our DNA. And to have no homeland, to have no place where you can call home, is a truly sad experience. I wouldn't want to wish that upon anyone. I know how minorities feel when they come to this country, but at least they can always make the claim that they can go back to someplace that is familiar and shares that cultural identity. I know that they want to make this country their own country, and I think that's a mistake. So, you have to appreciate the fact that Canada is its own unique country, and the United States and all these countries are their own unique places, and they have to be maintained. It's not good for the people that come here even. If Canada no longer maintains its Canadian culture, the thing that made it great is the Canadian culture. And if that gets lost, you might as well immigrate. You might as well not bother immigrating because it won't be a good place anymore. It won't be the place that, that brings the world to it, because it's going to be just like every other mishmashed place. So this is my thoughts. It's something that I've been thinking about a lot lately as I see like things change so rapidly. I know this is a bit of a rant video, that there's no real flow to it, but it's sort of like the way I feel. It's like my mind is like all these ideas. Like I'm like wondering what to say, because I don't have anything against immigrants. I love immigrants. I'm married to an immigrant. But at the same time, I feel like I'm losing my home, and that's my feelings. It's kind of a weird thing. Maybe it hasn't been solidified enough in my mind to really speak about it, but I kind of want to get other people's feelings. This is just an impression thing. I'm just trying to get people's ideas. I'd love to hear people's comments on this. Even if you're an immigrant, I'd love to hear your opinion. What do you think about this? So home is where the heart is. And I hope you appreciate this video. Thanks for listening. Talk to you later.